Was good, boys. I'm here with Haley doing a little case study. You want to tell them the month you came off of, like what you hit last month?
So last month I did about 17,000 in sales. And then the month before, I really just didn't start making like a good amount of money until the ninth of that month.
Hmm.
So I've done about 40K altogether the last 2 months. And this is like honestly the only product that has really pushed me to like a new boundary and a new level of drop shipping.
Yeah. And then before we dive into like all that stuff, you want to talk about a little bit about your background, like where you're from, when you even started drop shipping, and like how old you are, everything like that.
Yeah, so I'm 25. Um, I turned 26 in June. And what really got me into drop shipping was my husband and we have a business and we've kind of gotten to the point where we automized that business. We have employees, we have the time to kind of like explore different options of like expanding our financial bucket. And so we decided to divide and conquer. I got into drop shipping and he decided to go like the clothing brand route, and we're just kind of like doing our own thing while still running our business.
Yeah, that's fire. I remember when you first joined, you said you didn't even know who I was. Like your husband told you to watch my YouTube video or something. Is that how it went?
Yeah, I don't know how he found you. He was like watching your videos and he was watching like a couple other like drop shippers. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, I signed you up for something and you're gonna talk to this guy tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay." And I think the interviewer was like, "Do you know who these people are?" And I was like, "Yeah." I had no idea who you guys were. And I'm just so grateful that he did that for me. I think he was just like looking out for me and saw that you guys were offering something I was really looking for. I just hadn't found you guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, he signed up for me and it was great. I mean, look how it turned out.
Yeah, I think it turned out pretty good. You're like a main part of the community now. Like everyone, a lot of people look up to you in the community. Everyone in the Discord is just like friends. It feels like a big ass friendship, and I feel like you're a piece of the glue that like holds people together. You know, like people like Baby Slump, you, obviously me, Devin, Jacob. Everyone just like a big ass community. You know, I
That's very
think it
say
worked out
that.
pretty good.
Yeah, no, everyone does get along. I mean, once you start making money, you can relate to a lot of things. So,
Yeah,
um, I appreciate that, and I really hope I can be like that kind of example for anyone. Just because, I mean, why not? If I'm here to share my story, you're here to share your story. Everyone's story is different, and there are a lot of things that we can relate to within that.
yeah. And then should we go a little bit in the beginning? Like, I remember when you were in the trenches, like testing products, trying to learn how to film. Like, how did it kind of start for you? Because did you join as a complete beginner, like not knowing anything?
Basically, I guess when I started, it was like January of 2024. That's when I was like, I'm gonna go in.
Hmm.
I was in a different mentorship. So I was in a mentorship for paid ads.
Yeah,
And that's kind of like working backwards. I think you really need to learn the skills of organic in order to kind of work your way up to paid ads.
yeah,
And I was just like losing money, of course.
yeah,
So I was like, I need to give, myself a really good chance of doing it organically. I found a product and I made a couple sales from that. My content was horrible. So I'm really grateful that my husband, signed me up for your mentorship because working with you guys and especially you really helped me like hone down on making really good content, and that
hmm,
quality of content translates into like the product.
yeah, exactly. And then, do you know how many like products you even tested to find this like main winner? Do you even remember?
I would say about 15 products before I got to like this point where I'm at.
Yeah.
And like honestly, failing a lot.
I
Like you
mean,
said, like
that's part
in
of
the
it.
trenches.
That's part of it. Like most people takes like 30 products. For me, it was around like 15 also. But like I remember when you first joined and we were trying to get you good at content, we were just, yo, run this one too. You might not make money, but fuck it, just run it. Like just practice the skill of making content, right? Do you think that helped you just
Yeah,
like getting the reps in?
100%, of course. I mean, failure, like you said, is part of the process. And I always knew I was going to get to like a certain point with making money with drop shipping. It's a goal that I have in mind, and when I have a goal in mind, I'm never gonna stop until I get there, or die trying. And yeah, I just always saw the vision for it, and I just was like, okay, I took every failure as a lesson, and if I failed at it, I clearly wasn't ready for the next, step
Yeah.
in drop shipping. So all those failures, all those testings, like it got me all the knowledge that I have now. And so now that I'm at like a different level, it's like learning a whole new set of skills that I need for the future, for sure.
Yeah, because I feel like at the beginning you were just like, we were trying to teach you like, yo, this is how you make content. Just film for a random product and just learn the skills, learn the basic skills, and then now you're at like a whole different level where you're blowing up a product and it's like time to scale, which takes different skills, like you said. But like most beginners just join and try to make like 6 figures their first month, and it's like, bro, that's not how it works. You need to learn the fundamental skills first, and then you like slowly gradually increase from there.
Yeah, definitely. I tend to try to skip all the steps, but it's just inevitable. You have to fail to teach yourself.
Yeah.
It's like the only way to teach yourself.
I literally remember hopping on calls with you and you were like frustrated about your product sheets and like, bro, it was literally trench work. It was literally trench work, but like you made it out.
Yeah, yes, of course. Of course it's frustrating, like doing something, giving it your all and like having nothing in return. It's
Yeah.
never a fun process, but looking back on it, of course, it was necessary.
Yeah, I think I talked to someone about it yesterday because like obviously there's some dropshippers who like join and they'll make like 10K their first ever month versus like other people who it takes like 6-8 months of just grinding, eating shit to eventually pop off with like a 6-figure product or something like that. And I was saying
Yeah.
yesterday that like it's low-key better to be in the trenches longer because then you actually understand the work ethic it takes to find success with organic dropshipping. Instead of just getting lucky your first month or your first like product, you don't like you think everything's sunshine and rainbows when it's fucking not. Like this takes a lot of work ethic and like actual skills you need to master.
Yeah, sometimes luck will ruin it for you, especially with those like certain cases where people do make money from their first product. It doesn't give them the mindset that they really need to like really start businesses because, this is my second business. So, having that mindset prior really helped me in this journey to like keep going. I think I can't speak for myself on like what my life would have looked like without that, but like having that knowledge, I'm like, okay, if I was able to do this once, I can do it again. But for those kinds of instances, I think it can kind of ruin that mindset. If you're not making money, your second product, third product, it's gonna hit hard.
Yeah. And let's go a little bit into this product. Obviously, don't leak it, but like, what'd you see in this product? How'd you find it? What made you like be like, bet I'm gonna order this and run it up?
So after so many things that I was testing and products that I was failing at, I gained a lot of knowledge on my previous product that you helped me with. I was kind of like learning from my competitor at that time, and this person's content was like amazing and they were doing so well. I was running the same product, doing the same content, and it was not working for me. I was getting really frustrated about that. But I did make some money with it, and it, it's like the next step. Okay, I finished this level. Now I need to figure something out to like get me to the next level. So I started, because of all the experience I had, I started looking on AliExpress, and I saw some products that another brand that I was following for like a couple years was using. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I can do that. And so I was like, the best way to do it is just find a product where I can kind of tap into like multiple different niches if I need to change it up. So basically I found something. I was like, oh, I could apply this to this niche. And if that doesn't work out, I can still use this product for a completely separate niche.
Yeah.
So I did. And it took about like 5 videos to really find the right niche. I hit a really good video, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Yeah, that's fire. And then what about the content? Did you blow up mainly on TikTok, Instagram, and what kind of like concepts were you doing? What was your thought process behind making videos? Because I know your videos obviously don't leak it, but like you did a certain type of concept that is really popular right now, just like kind of like the stitches and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it's kind of bad, I feel, because I'm like acting like I'm making the product,
Yeah,
right? But I feel like it gives like a really good story to like get people to trust the brand essentially.
yeah.
Um, I was just using, yes, stitch videos in the beginning of the videos of someone else like making
Hmm.
something similar. And then, oh, sorry.
It's all good.
His phone's connected to the um, laptop and he got a call.
No, you're good. You're good.
um, what was I saying?
The stitch videos.
So I was like making stitch videos, showing my product, and then I also have multiple variants of this product that tie into the niche and associating it with basically certain characters within this niche.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's just such a powerful method, and that's like what I use to get my most viral videos. That like format is what I've been using.
Yeah, I feel like that's working for hella people right now because I know in so many lessons in the inner circle, we always talk about like perceive yourself as a seller. And that's one of the easiest way of doing that is just getting stitch videos of like people hand making the product or whatever it is. Like, have you seen like the grandpa and like the grandma stitch videos? Like my grandpa made this
Oh my
business.
gosh, like
Like, I know you
yes,
feel you kind of feel bad, but it's also like, yo, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
I mean, if it's not me, it's someone else, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't just like give that to someone else.
Yeah, because I feel like it's the easiest way to like perceive yourself as a real brand. Like, yo, I'm making this product. Here's the final result. The link's in my bio
Yeah.
if you want to check it out. It's like super simple, super straightforward, and it's probably the best for conversions, honestly. Like those types of stitches.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, you're establishing yourself as the seller without having to say it.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so we covered product and content. What about like anything you've learned after blowing up this product? Any new like mindset shifts or any new perspectives about organic dropshipping as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely changed my perspective on dropshipping as a whole because when I was going about it, I actually had this idea ish in the back of my head since the beginning, and I never followed through with it. So I finally got to a point where I was like, I might as well test out like my theories and think about what I'm doing and really kind of implement what I'm telling myself in my gut.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I think doing that really helped me confirm that my intuition is always telling me something that I need to listen to.
Yeah. Just trusting your gut, moving with speed, you know?
Yes.
And
Yes.
then,
And now that like I'm at a different level, now it's just implementing ads and influencer marketing and just kind of scaling this brand to, I guess, its fullest potential because I won't know unless I try.
yeah, this is a really good product that you can easily brand, I feel like. And like you said, there was a brand that you were following, you said, before this, that's running the same similar products, and you didn't even know it was like drop shipping until you found it on Ali.
Yeah, it's so embarrassing because it's like when you see that, you're like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
should have known. But they did a really good job of branding it.
Yeah.
And yes, I found this account like 5 years ago before I even knew what dropshipping was. And I was going to buy from them. I never did. I know, such an NPC, but I never did. And I saw someone where it like came up again. Someone had bought something from them. And I was like, wait a second. And I was like looking on AliExpress and I found one variant that they use.
Yeah.
And I took that and just was like, let me just apply it to like a different market of people or like just a different group of people in a way that I think can do like be better.
Yeah. That's a hella smart approach, I feel like. That's like the easiest way of doing it. And you actually trusted your gut and then did it, you know?
Yeah, I think that's like what also made me want to do it really bad and like get on it
Yeah.
was that like I was just, let me just try it.
Yeah. And then what about some motivation or any words of inspiration for like people who are just starting out or even people who like have been in the trenches like trying to make this shit work but they haven't popped off a product or like they haven't gone viral consistent. Like what would you say to people like that?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be points in your journey where you're going to feel really stuck. It doesn't matter like what level you're on. You're going to feel stuck. You're going to feel like I don't know which direction to go in. And you know, people who are more advanced, they have a little bit more experience under the belt because they've gone through some things to kind of keep that journey going. But of course, it's like easy to say don't give up. But
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's gonna feel the pressure and feel of the failure, to like want to give up in the beginning if they don't see like any sort of success like right away, or even people who have been trying for a long time. Like, guys, I've been doing this for a year. It took me a year to get to like this point. Granted, I think I could have sped the process up a little bit, but life does get in the way.
Hmm.
And I do have like other things that I'm doing on top of this. So I would just say make mini goals to get to like a certain point. So instead of like, oh, like make $1 million tomorrow, like that's just unrealistic.
Yeah.
Setting like really small goals of like, oh, I need to talk to a supplier about this product
Yeah.
and how I can get the price down. Or if, even sooner, I want to make a video hit like 250,000 views. I want to have a video hit 1 million views, you know, and
Yeah.
just keep working up those small goals into like the next step instead of going from 0 to 100.
Yeah, exactly. I also don't really like money goals. I'd rather have like a to-do list of shit I need to do. Like, let's say if I want to make 10K this month, I'll be like, okay, what do I need to do to make 10K? Okay, let's test 4 products this month. Let's make 2 videos every single day for each of those products. Let's do this. You know, just reverse engineer the goal and set like to-do lists that you need to do. Like, it'll add up to the money goal in the end if you're actually like doing it correctly, you know? Does that make sense? That's what I
Yeah, I
personally do.
think for sure. I think money can take away from life in general.
Mhm.
Like, I mean, here we are doing the most to make the most amount of money, of course, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think money is of the world and it's paper and a
Yeah.
number. So sometimes people do get kind of caught in the money aspect of it and like setting certain money goals, and it's like you're always going to want more,
Yeah.
and and that doesn't ever stop or go away because the more money you have, the more problems you have. So it shouldn't, of course, like you're going to want it to be about the money in the beginning, and if that's your goal, that's great, but don't lose yourself in it.
Mhm.
You know,
I
stay true to your roots.
I definitely agree with what you just said. You're always gonna want more. But remember, I told you gotta appreciate like how far you've came. Because I was like, yo, let's run this case study, and you were like, okay, we can do it, but I wish I just made more, or like we should wait until I make more. I was like, bro, no, let's just do it. Because bro, there's people in your exact same position, that are probably in the trenches. You made $17,000 this month. You made 40,000 with your product. That's still like a lot of money to people that can like just change their whole perspective on drop shipping or like just life in general, because you never know what someone's going through or what someone's been grinding for, and like even 40K could be like, damn, that's all I needed, proof of concept that I needed to like make drop shipping work and keep on doing it, you know?
Yeah, no, of course. I think anyone, there's a lot of people who want to be, you know, in my position now. I think it's just when you set certain goals in your
Yeah, yeah,
head, sometimes I'm just not satisfied until I hit that exact goal that I have been like wanting to get at.
yeah,
And I'm really grateful for all the work that I put in and like where I am today, for sure. I'm super grateful. I just, yeah, sometimes I do feel like you're always going to want more and you're always going to feel like, okay, that's great, but now I need to get to this point. And sometimes comparison is the thief of joy.
yeah. And like you said, like you're in the perfect position to scale this product. Obviously, you're gonna make way more money in the future with this product, but it's like, why not talk about it a little bit, give some people some motivation and what you've done to get to this point, and then maybe we'll run up another case study like a couple months down the line, like 6 figure month. You never know. But bro,
Yeah.
your product is like infinitely scalable. I'm not gonna lie. Like nobody knows you're dropshipping. I don't think the same way you didn't know that brand was dropshipping. It's like
Yeah.
it's a perfect product to like scale.
Yeah, no, this because of this product now, I'm gonna continue doing drop shipping, probably similar to this, and just have like multiple brands that I'm scaling. But I need
Yeah,
to like automate this one before I can like move on to the next because it does take up most of my energy aside from what else I'm doing.
yeah,
So that's the hardest part because right now I am doing everything. I'm doing everything for this product. I'm doing everything for my other stuff. I'm doing stuff for my personal brands. Like
yeah.
it's a lot when you're the only one doing all of that.
Yeah, we can definitely help implement that stuff. If you need a creator, we can do that. Or you said you wanted to run ads or send it to influencers, like that's also very smart. So you can really do anything with this product because it literally looks like a real brand. Like you're on like the perfect path right now.
And you know what? I've actually gotten a lot of bulk orders for other people's businesses
Damn.
that I've been working on. So like without like spoiling or giving away too much, yeah, people have been bulk ordering my products to use for their business on like an almost like endless supply.
Damn. That's fire. That's actually sick.
I
I
know.
think there's a
I
lot of potential with this product. Like you barely scratched the surface right now. We're like you're just getting started with this.
Yeah, there are some people kind of like right behind me that caught on really quick,
Yeah.
and that's inevitable, but it's frustrating sometimes. Even though I was doing that to someone else, it's just
Yeah.
seeing someone else doing that to me, I'm like,
As long as you're the biggest competitor, if you just like keep this momentum going, like even if there's people behind you, they're not going to be making as much money as you, and eventually they're just going to like drop the product and move on, and then you can keep running the product, you know?
yeah, for
It's like
sure.
same thing
I
with
mean,
Slump did today in the call. He was like, obviously I have competitors, but I'm going to leak my product to you guys because I know I have the whole market, you know?
yeah,
Kind of
definitely.
like that.
I need to get to like a good point before I'm able to do that.
Yeah,
So
obviously
that
don't
was,
leak it anytime soon or anything. There's still so much room to scale, but you're on the perfect path right now, I would say.
yeah, no, it's crazy. Like the journey has been a little bumpy, and
Mm.
I'm sure it will continue to be. But this is just adding on to my portfolio, I guess, of my life and
Yeah,
my financial life.
exactly. It's fire. That's pretty much all the questions I had for you, though. Do you have any like last motivation for the people before we wrap this up?
For the people, I mean, yeah, like I said, don't compare too much. Like your journey is your own journey. Definitely, if you're not in a mentorship, I would recommend getting into a mentorship. Of course, like Fredo is a great mentor, but it really does cut down the time
Yeah,
than doing it yourself. And I think if I didn't have someone kind of pointing out certain things about my content or about like my brand essentially, or just along the way that all the stepping stones, I don't know what the outcome would have been today. So having a mentor is it's very valuable.
yeah. I think it's just essential for anything because if you're, let's say you're going in the complete wrong direction, making shitty videos, running shitty products, there's no one there to tell you like, yo, this is dog shit, bro. Like, go this way, do this instead. Like, you're just gonna be going in the wrong direction for like 2 years of your life, not making any money. So I feel like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's super essential. Um, but yeah, also basic advice for everyone is just don't give up because I feel like most people in the position that you were in, or even like other students, there's been so many students who are grinding for like 4 or 5 months with no results and eventually come up. I feel like so many people just give up on like month 2 and then never see their full potential. So
I'm actually so surprised. I would say like not a lot of people are like consistent with it or just at
yeah,
least keep trying. Like sometimes, I mean, there was a point in my journey where there was a lot of stuff going on in my life that was taking away from this.
mhm,
So, like I said, like sometimes your life does get in the way. And I knew I was going to continue the journey, but sometimes you just have to try without a goal and just like try something or like get up and do something, even if it's just like 1% better every day,
yeah,
just trying. And sometimes that'll get you back into the groove. of, you know, getting into what you were going to do originally.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah. Biggest
I
thing
have
I would
seen a
say.
lot of,
Yeah. That's the biggest thing I would say for everyone watching this. Is just don't give up, bro. Don't like I said this in the I think it's like the first video in the course of the mindset section. I'm like, if you give up, you're a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Like, why would you
Mhm.
give up? There's no other. What other option do you have? Go back to the life you were living before you tried doing this, or just sticking with it and then changing your life forever. You know, just like
Yeah, how
I
could you
see
see
no.
someone else? How could you see someone else doing it? There's so many more unqualified people making way more money.
Right.
Like sometimes you just overthink it, and
Yeah.
sometimes I was overthinking it too. But um, yeah, I think seeing other people doing it should be like some sort of motivation. It is possible.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Shout out everyone for watching this. Shout out Haley for coming on here and telling her little journey and story blowing up this product.